I looked round at the bar and Plenderleith was looking at me, and he just went like that to me. I looked at him as if, oh. And he just went, "She doesn't get it, mate." And I went, "Cool." And I just sat back up at the bar again. And I remember just shortly after that, sitting and my head was dropping, and I felt as if I was looking about, and I felt as if I was growling at people. And if anybody knows what a growler is, growling at folk, you don't want to be that. And that's what I felt I was doing, just staring through people. I was going, "What's wrong with you? Get a grip." And that's the last thing I remember. Lights out. Lights out. Until I came to, and it was the Airdrie police station. I didn't know that at the time. Imagine just sitting in a pub 1 minute and literally blink, and when you open your eyes you're completely somewhere different. The rapture will be like that, by the way. Hallelujah. That's coming soon. This is what I keep telling you. These are all pre-warnings. The reason that all this has happened to me is to show people what's coming. And this is what happened to prophets, believe it or not. Ezekiel had a tough life. Jeremiah, oh my God, they all had a tough life. And I think most of them pretty much were ultimately killed, according to the Old Testament. Anyway, I know that, how do I tell you this? Right, let's fill in the blanks. So here's what I now know from all the different stories, and everybody's told a different story, by the way. And I think what happened was, in that state of whatever, because everybody keeps going on about 11:30, so it must have been about another hour. And I think I was up talking to Plenderleith and Stuart for some reason, because when the girl said that I'd attacked her when I was standing on her left-hand side, so, and that's why I couldn't get my head around it for so long, because I was like, what's she talking about? I wasn't there. But anyway, I never worried about any of this, because I knew that the videotape, the footage, would show that didn't happen. That's why the court case took so long to come around, all of them. Police Scotland kept lying. Every time I kept turning up at court, they'd be like, "Oh no, the videotape doesn't show any footage from outside the court case, outside the ELF." And we would say, "Well, that's fine, because we want to see inside." So, and we'd turn back up at court and say, "Oh no, the police evidence video doesn't show anything inside." But you just said it only showed inside, it didn't show outside. What's going on here? And this went on for an awful long time. As it turns out, there's actually evidence written down. Luke O'Curry, liar number 2. The Lord gave him a heart attack though, didn't he? For God's purposes to help me out. Oh, wait till I get to that. It'll not be the day. Aye, you. Totally lost my train of thought there, because that's what happens. I can remember the trauma, you see, and the feelings that I want to tear somebody apart. It's horrendous. These things are inside me, because that's trauma. Simple as that. CPTSD. It can't become post anything until you're out of it. Now I'm out of it. Still to be sentenced for this. Have to get me for something. So they're sentenced me for punching a guy that hard that I took his face off. No knife, no weapon. No DNA on it, remember. It's disgusting. But anyway, so what happened then pretty much must have been, probably by the sounds of it, everyone had said I was chatting that lassie up in Catherine Park. So it must have been, I bet I was saying some horrible things, because see, when you're in that drugged, I don't know if anybody's ever been drugged before. I have, and I know people that have as well. The things that come out your mouth are disgraceful, But anyway, that's all it was, just words. Just words. So, and I don't know what words they were, and I apologise to her for them, because it's not something that's part of me. But I certainly didn't attack her. But I'll tell you why she said I did. Because when I was invited to leave by Michael, who told Suzanne that I looked right through him, that when I was looking at him, I was looking right through him, like I didn't have a clue who he was. And he took me out, and there's all sorts of different stories about what happened then, how it came about, I know that I didn't have my jacket on at the time, and what I was probably trying to do was find my keys and then get back to get my jacket. A wee guy, James I think his name is, can't quite remember. He was honest. He was also helping to hold me down at the time, before the boys started volleying me in the ground. But from what I can make of it, I was trying to get back into my jacket, and of course everybody was, probably because of the things I said to that lassie, they weren't letting me back in. So I guess that's why Stuart was pulling me back. I don't know if you, that other you and the guy, I don't know if he was outside at the time, because they were all lying. I mean, they stood up in court, and I wrote poetry about it. Get yourselves up on the soapbox and lie off your heads again. Michael said that the knife fell out my hand, but then everybody else said that Michael kicked it out my hand while I was on the ground. Are you lying, Michael? I hope not, because I thought you were my friend. Everybody just pulls away though. This is a pariah. When someone is shouting about bawling, nobody wants to hear any. You're all sitting watching though, because it's like car crash TV, isn't it? Anyway, whatever happened, I'm empathic. I can't tell what your face is telling me. I struggle in the situation, don't really know what's going on when I'm in amongst humans. That's why I'm always trying to be funny and all the rest of it. Humour is a defence mechanism. But anyway, when the Ewan Sanderson guy actually said in court, he stood up and he said, he tried to justify why he was coming out to attack me by saying he'd heard somebody else saying that I had said something to someone else, and he was angry about it and he wanted to come out and hurt me. He actually said that on the stand. So straight away I'm thinking, that's self-defence. Guy's just admitted it, what a clown. He's a farmer. No offence to the other farmers, I know farmers and there are a lot of smart ones out there. This one's not. Anyway, so the fight happened, his face got opened up like a watermelon, and he'll have to look at that for the rest of his life. I've got no remorse, by the way. He attacked me, and you're going to find out, and I can't wait, because you will end up in prison, you clown, and all your wee rat friends. So when the James guy assumed that I had a knife, he shouted, "I've got a knife," and then decided to tackle me. Anyway, so they got me onto the ground, and that's when the whole lot came out for the pub, Oh, the wee bad bastards. It's a biblical word. And one of them was the boyfriend of Catherine Park that couldn't wait to get his shoes in, because he was Ewan Sanderson's best mate. I think I don't know these things. You've got no idea what I know, because God knows everything, and God allows us to know things. There's things that I know that there's no way I could know them. That's what's driving the coppers insane. That's the only reason I went for getting dragged about over broken glass by the feet upside down to them. Oh, sorry, let's just get you all through the court case and all the rest of it. Do you know how many autisms assessment I had to get? 3. The one from the NHS wasn't enough. I took one for a court appointed one previous to that. Then I went on the NHS one. They weren't happy about that. They forced me to go and see a forensic psychiatrist. They were hoping. They were actually hoping. My lawyer said it. Oh, I was hoping he was going to say that you were unfit to stand trial. No, everyone was hoping that. Because if I'm unfit to stand trial, I'm a loony. If I'm a loony, nothing I'm saying to you is going to be true. I'm not a loony, I'm just traumatised. And I don't care anymore. So anyway, once the boys had shooed me in that night for a while and the police had dislocated my arm, they tried to blame that on Michael, by the way, emphasising him kicking the knife out of my hand caused dropsy, but it wasn't dropsy. It was a detached radial nerve, quite different. Tore out on my left shoulder, tried to put the cuffs on me. I'm going to tell you all about the police later on. But anyway, the reason that 14 days later Catherine Park decided to say that I'd sexually assaulted her and actually go to the police and make that. I mean, can you imagine that? After she'd been on 2 holidays, by the way. That was the reason. She was so traumatised that night, allegedly. And also, when my lawyer in the court was talking to her, she went, "Get deaf." That's how she reacted. when I allegedly attacked her in a pub where I was in full view the whole time. So, and the police officer actually that recorded both the charge lots, both the different incidents, it was the same police officer. And on one of them they wrote there's no CCTV, and in the other one they wrote CCTV was taken. But 4 weeks later, you can't remember, you were in the same elf. 4 weeks later, a massive bloodbath. I wonder if that's PC Lucy, can't mind her surname. Anyway, so the deal was, immediately that night, Stuart Plenderleith checked himself out of hospital, and what he said to my ex-wife now, Suzanne, was that he checked himself out because he wants nothing to do with this. Oh, that's interesting, I thought. What does he mean, nothing to do with this? That's why I started pulling the strings, pulling on the cords. Ewan Sanderson knew that night that he was coming out to hit me because he's looking for a Saturday night fight. That's what these guys do. That's why folk don't go out on a Saturday night, the bigger. I didn't know what day it was. I wasn't interested. Every day's the same day to me. Just didn't come into my mind. And when they seen me sitting there, because every one of them said I was doing nothing, I was just sitting there looking at my glass, doing nothing. And then all of a sudden, what? I'm attacking people, 3 people. You see, so because they knew, and Stuart Sanderson knew that Ewan had come out to attack me, he wanted nothing to do with it. That was then. 3.5 years have passed now, so they're all Billy Big Boss on the stand, weren't they? Giving it all that. Stuart, you're an You've got in bed with the wrong people, my man. Anyway, so when the dust settled, while I was in prison, jail, lying in a mat with all my broken ribs and my face out like a balloon, for the 45-minute kicking I took on the ground, 45 minutes, by the way, being booted in the head. I had to get a CT scan and an MRI scan before I was thrown back in jail again, by the way. Police Scotland, I'm absolutely disgusted with you. And it's breaking my heart, by the way, because I was in about Police Scotland with Wrigley, trying to make connections and whatnot. And I've done relatively well down south, getting connections up, getting a desire for the product. But Police Scotland have absolutely ripped the heart out of me. And I was trying to do it to help use it and help emergency workers out. Anyway, so the real reason that Catherine Park decided to say that I'd sexually assaulted her was to make an excuse up. Isn't that sad? But that's all it was. To cover the tracks for her, probably her boyfriend, to be honest with you. He's probably on 3 strikes, ready to go to jail. Because these are all violent, horrible wee bastards. I'm capable of extreme violence, as you can see. I hit that guy 3 times with a left punch. No rights. Who was holding my right arm? I'm not hitting MD with 3 straight left jabs. That's my weak hand. But it was still 3 of the hardest punches he's ever felt. I can't believe that 2 girls stood up on court and collaborated that I'd attacked that girl when the police evidence written down clearly states no assault was captured on CCTV at this time, and I was in full view. The PF, when the court case came round for sexual assault, he read everything out but the big black bold writing which said no assault was captured on CCTV at this time. And I remember looking at him as he was reading it all the way down, and I was thinking, that's it, keep going, you clown, keep going. And he stopped. Didn't say another word. And the sheriff at the time, he's a nice one. He knows all this is crap. I feel sorry for the people that know, that just have to sit in it. Anyway, the sheriff made the PF go and get the video. Or he said the next week, he said, the video recording is this man's only defence, then I suggest you get it and we'll come back in 2 weeks. So you see why the PF was raging. He's got the girls through the back ready to get me jailed, and let's be on with this. So they come back 2 weeks later. Jackson was here this time. Rat. Jackson was here and he was like, right, listen, there's no videotape. The police have now said that there's no videotape. And I'm saying, what? He's like, listen, don't worry about it. let's just get in here and get this done, eh? It's 2 against 1. You just need to take what you get, and don't mention you were drugged, because we just can't bring that up.